contagious than they thought. So we're gonna be keeping a low profile and just kind of working our way north. And we'll try to go, we've got 12 and a half hours to the border. We'll try to go half of that tonight if we can. And
welcome to another episode of the Epic Family Road Trip.
Hey guys, so this video was shot back in March. We had just finished a wonderful trip through the Lincoln National Forest with our friends from Lifestyle Overland, Kevin, Sarah, and Caroline. And we had just got back to near Carlsbad, and we had been in the wilderness for some time with them, and we were camping well before that, so we needed a bit of a break, so we pulled into a KOA and rented a little camp spot there. And so we started to listen to the news again. We had been off grid, out of touch with everything for some time, and this whole COVID-19 thing was fairly new, but it was really starting to become an issue. And so we thought to ourselves, I think we better get out of here. They were encouraging everyone to get home. Step number one is we headed to stock up with some groceries. We knew we were going to be traveling for at least 3-4 days to get up north of the border, and so we needed enough groceries to get us up there. So step number one was get down to Carlsbad and get some groceries. Now the Walmart there was pretty much, a lot of the shelves were bare, and so there was an Albertsons in town which had just stocked all their shelves. So we got in and we got enough food for at least 2 weeks. Get everything you needed?
It's a lot of fun putting that dirt on there, right?
These things are handy for getting fresh water. It's really good spring water. And we just put those jugs up, 3 jugs up on the roof rack, and we're good to go for a week. It's also, I mean, carrying water bottles is out of the question. We're always in the backcountry, and the last thing we want to do is hike in trash if we can help it, because there's any spare space for hiking it out. So yeah, no water bottles this way.
Alright, so we just got this package from Northern Knives. We've been working with them for a bit to get our own knives developed with our logo and everything on it. And we got this sample package with probably a few knives in it for us to test out and use. And then we'll just show you guys what it all looks like. We haven't even seen it yet, so we're all pretty excited. Oh wow. Wow, that's beauty. 3-dog knives. These are Riot. Like the OD green leather case. Oh, beauty. Wow. That's actually much different than I thought. That's really cool. These knives are ones we picked out with them, something to use every day. It's got our Epic Family Road Trip logo on it. Something to kind of have as an everyday carry. Small knife, used around for bushcrafting, a little bit of whittling, and wood splitting for sure. It's got a nice hefty blade on there. Small and compact though. I really like it.
Ready? Blow it out, Dad. Wait.
Thanks guys, that's delish. Good morning, it is St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, and we are still in New Mexico. We're packing up. As you can see in the background, we stopped in at a KOA just so that we had been out in the wilderness for at least a week or two, and more like 2. And then we were kind of out of supplies, so we had to come in to town and pick up a ton of supplies. And everybody's making a run on the grocery store, so we got as much as we could, and what we think we need for a little while, and we've changed our plans, as so many people have, and we're forced to change our plans. And instead of continuing on through the southwest, we are heading back to Canada. So today we'll start going north, and we'll go, probably take us 3-4 days at the outset to get up to BC, Canada. We have so many things to consider. One, they're talking about a possibility of shutting down the border. Now, I don't know if that would stop us from getting through or whatever, but then there's probably a possibility of having to be quarantined or at least self-isolated, which we are pretty good at doing that. The social distancing, these vehicles allow us to do that pretty effectively as long as we have supplies. So it doesn't matter where you are. You can be in the wilderness, but then all it takes is coming back and having to go to a store, and you could pick up the virus. So these are, you know, crazy times, and I think we'll all get through it, but the way we'll do that is by being vigilant, very, very vigilant, very careful, taking the precautions that we are told to take, and then not panicking, not being overcome with fear so that we, you know, freeze or do crazy things. Just being smart, I think, no matter whether you're in a house right now, kind of in self-isolation, or if you're on the road, being smart is the key, and being careful. I wish all of you the best during these difficult times. We'll get through it, and yeah, we're heading north now. We'll see you down the road. Everybody's hungry. We've done about 3.5 hours drive, maybe 4, and got a long ways to go. We're gonna get on down the highway. We're getting up into northern New Mexico now. I can already feel the temperature drop. We've been spoiled with warm weather for the last couple of months, so this will be different. But we have some clothing we can put on, and we'll be good to go. Nice quick meal, huh? So we found this little forest road on okay, on OVERLAND, and it looks pretty good. I'll make sure I'm recording the coordinates on Gaia so you can download them on Patreon. But it's right in the forest here. There's a few little camp spots, some fire pits, and firewood. So this should be a nice place to spend the night. It's in northern New Mexico, just outside of a town called Cuba. Looks pretty right in this too. We're back in beside the island, and then the boys can collect some leveling rocks. There you go. Hi boy, how do you like your water? Is that his lingo? Oh man, loving that fire shield. Now that makes it comfortable after a long day's drive, and Gonna bunk down early tonight and then hit the road first thing in the morning. Probably make our way up to around Moab, Utah, and find a place to camp there. There's national forest and BLM land everywhere, so it's just amazing what places you can find. Lando can run free out here and have a lot of fun. But after Moab, then I think it'll be another day's drive up to somewhere in Montana, not too far from the Canadian border, and then one more day up to Radium Hot Springs, BC. We're only about, I don't know, 500 feet from the freeway. We just found a little spot at National Forest. There's a trail coming in, and here we are. So yeah, we're gonna have a little fire tonight and then hit the hay early and get on the road tomorrow.
Hearing of stories of ancient land and glories.
Good morning, March 18th. Just about to head north. I guess we'll be in Utah. A little bit of Colorado and then Utah. It's gonna be colder tomorrow night. It was a little chilly tonight, but not bad at all. So more bad news to do with the virus. Seems like it's even more contagious than they thought. So we're gonna be keeping a low profile and just kind of working our way north over the next couple of days. But this morning, making a fire to warm up, a coffee, trying to keep things as normal as possible. Not to be fearful, but to be smart and vigilant. So we're taking the precautions when we fuel up, which isn't very often because of our long-range fuel tanks. Man, we couldn't have got those at a better time. That gives us double the capacity. So we're going, 700 miles or something, or kilometers, I guess, before we have to fill up. But when we do, we wear rubber gloves. We're keeping distance from everyone else and they from us, and just doing what we can. Utah, one of our favorite places to be. We had so many plans to come here and do trails, and like the White Rim Trail was on our list for this year to do the 3 days loop. Anyway, see how crazy things are right now and how fast times change. We are just driving through. Restaurants are closed, the national parks are either shut down or only open a short amount of hours. So we're on our way up to Canada and we're just gonna drive past all this beauty. But we'll be back. We're just stopping here for a minute. We're making a quick meal and then stretching our legs, letting the dog run, making a strong coffee, getting coffeed up, and then hitting the road again. We'll try to go, we've got 12 and a half hours to the border. We'll try to go half of that tonight if we can, and then half tomorrow. It sounds like a fair trade-off. So for now though, it is tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwiches. Woo, tomato soup with meatballs. Now we're just quickly washing up the dishes and hitting the road. Although we would love to stay here. Check this place out. Quiet, remote, and beautiful. Lots of protection from these junipers. We'll make sure to put a waypoint on Gaia GPS, so if y'all are coming through this way, you can find it with beautiful views in all directions. All right, we've eaten, we've done the dishes, put everything away. It's amazing what you can do out of the back of a Jeep, and all that's left is we're just brewing up a nice cup of coffee so we can hit the road. We're gonna push as hard as we can. Things are getting crazy, and we just got an email from the government of Canada that we need to fill out a form. They're looking for anyone who's not in the country right now to register on this website and let them know where we are. So we're only at the outset 2 days, but probably if everything goes well, we'll be in Canada by tomorrow afternoon. So
probably around 8 o'clock tomorrow night.
Yeah,
that's what I think, with all the
stops and whatnot. So yep, that's our goal, but I'm gonna register anyway, just so they know we're here and know we're coming. So as we're driving through these small towns, we're starting more and more to see the local McDonald's blocked off. People are allowed to use the drive-thrus, but the ones that hurt the most are these little restaurants. I saw one in a tiny town. It said opening soon, a little restaurant. He's not going to be opening for a while, or she, but just our thoughts are with all you guys, small businesses, families that are not able to go to work right now in terms of paying your bills. It looks like relief is coming, so that's good. Things are being taken care of the best they can. It's a tough situation for everybody, but it sounds like if everybody just hunkers down for a while, 15 days, whatever the gestation period of this thing is, we'll slow the spread down to almost nothing and hopefully get this thing under control. We're 14 hours from where we're going, from the border, about 12 and a half hours from the border of Canada. So if we get kind of rejuvenated here, eat some food, grab some coffee, we might push another, even if we could do half that, if we could go 7 more hours, then we're getting awful close. So.
Alright, so we've passed through quite a bit of Utah now. We went probably the fastest we've ever gone through Moab and Canyonlands and Arches. We normally spend a few weeks there at least, but we're coming up through a mountain pass. We're about 100 miles out of Salt Lake City, but of course once we start going through the mountain pass, a ton of weather starts coming through.
We're back on the road again this morning. We had a good night's sleep. It was, I think we arrived at, we stopped at a KOA because we couldn't find anything else around here. And it was around 11:30, so we got our tent set up, hit the sack, and we're now back on the road by 7. And we have a 10-hour drive, roughly 10 hours to the border, and then 2 hours to where we're going. So long day ahead, but we're almost there. We noticed around 5 o'clock a bunch of motorhomes around us getting their engines started and starting to pull out, and we noticed they're all from Canada, so everybody's doing the same thing, I guess, trying to beat the border closure. Haven't seen ice in a long time. We were driving along, everyone needed to stretch their legs, and just then we saw a sign saying access to the Little Blackfoot. Man, that's the river, and a river runs through it. So we used to watch that movie a lot. Loved the fly fishing. Really cool to touch the Little Blackfoot from near Missoula, Montana. Across the border, we are in Canada. No problems, but they gave us this by law. We have to self-quarantine for what, 14 days? So we just gotta lay low for 2 weeks. So we're back in Canada, but to all our friends in the US, my goodness, you guys, thanks for everybody who checked up on us, made sure everything was going well for us, offered us places to stay, offered us to stop by and have a meal. You guys are awesome. And you're going to come out of this whole thing, so is Canada, with flying colors. You're going to defeat the virus and get back to normal, and then we will be back because we had a lot of exploring we put off. So after we crossed into Canada, we drove about 2.5 hours north to the small town of Radium Hot Springs, British Columbia. This is the same town that we spent a couple of months last year snowboarding in the mountains, and we rented the same condo that we had last winter. We did our mandatory 14-day self-isolation, and then we were super anxious to get outside. We had to go shopping for some food and supplies, and we started hiking every day with Lando. Now we're surrounded in mountains, as you can see in the background, and rivers and wilderness areas, so it's a perfect place to be kind of quarantined for a while. Lots of beautiful hikes along the river and short drives into the mountains. This town is usually bustling in the winter during ski season, at least on the weekends, but because of everything that's going on, they shut down the entire ski resort. So this place is pretty much a ghost town, and you'll actually find more mountain goats on the streets than people. So it's a good place to self-isolate and kind of see what is happening with this whole virus situation. So we've been here for almost a month, and our rent is up, so our plan now is to pack everything up into the Jeeps and to start heading across the country to Ontario to get back to our cabin for the rest of whatever self-isolation is required. We plan to do that by traveling on logging roads and back roads and just staying as far off the grid as possible all the way back to Ontario. It's going to be quite the adventure, and we're looking forward to sharing it with you in the weeks ahead.
And in the meantime, we'll see you down the road.
Whoa.